So you can see how the pack is just attached using the compression strap loops and on the shelf or the seat in shelf mode of the actual stand. And it's very secure, very quiet, definitely not falling off. Compression straps make it so that it's on there really tight, quick and easy. On the inside, you see that the compression straps are what I used to put the pack on. And when I take it off, I just loosen the compression G-buckles. The pack separates easily from the stand, which is my preferred way to carry it. So the pack has plenty of MOLLE across the front panel here, as well as on the side. Each side has a zippered pocket up top for smaller items, like if you want to store your keys. Right now I just have a few buckles in there. Before I get to that, the back straps are somewhat removable, come right out of the buckles there, and then at the bottom they can come out from here. You just have to tie up this strap. It also has a pretty decent buckle on the center chest strap, which is movable up and down. Extra hooks here. Pretty decent padding on the back. It's got some nice, I'd say probably about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick. The fabric itself of the entire pack is, it's actually, it's not fuzzy, but it's not like a denier or a canvas material. It says it's water resistant, but it's actually a really quiet pack. Zippers are fairly quiet. Zippers are zippers. They're all going to make some noise. Same thing with the buckles. There's only one company that makes rubberized buckles, but all of the straps have these little Velcro on them to tighten them up, the loose ends, because nobody likes loose ends. And my preferred way of carrying it, the actual hip belt is also pretty nice. It's not the thickest or the most durable. Not durable, but it's not the most rigid. It's not going to provide you a ton of support, but there is a decent amount of cushion there. I use a different hip belt on my actual stand. If I was going to take this and use it as a climber saddle platform, a saddle hunting stand, I would certainly put this hip belt back on. But it is removable. And there's MOLLE, 2 rows of MOLLE on each side of the hip belt. So the pack itself, it has cushion in all the places you want it. Great for early season if you're where it's going to be hot. The inside is pretty neat. There's 2 compression straps. I don't know if you can see, but on the inside, these compression straps actually go through here and come out here. So when you take off this front panel, anything that you have inside here is going to be able to be tightened on each side by this compression strap. So it's not just this elastic that's holding it in, which is pretty neat. This front panel is completely removable if you don't want it on there. I probably won't keep it on there just because I'm not going to be putting a saddle and sticks here and then closing it up. If that's what you're doing and using this as a saddle pack, it's going to be absolutely perfect for that. But since I'm actually going to be attaching it to my hang-on stand, I'm really not going to need this to hold anything on here. and I'm not going to want the extra single pocket that it provides, although it is a nice size deep pocket, which it's almost got like a felt lining inside too, so that's nice and quiet. Again, plenty of MOLLE on the front. I'm probably going to take that off just because if I really need to, I can put another, like an admin pouch or something here or here. So a lot of MOLLE that makes it really customizable. On the front panel here, you have another pocket which goes down to here. So this is all one pocket. And then on the bottom here, you have another pocket which goes all the way down to the bottom. So two decent sized pockets if you know things like your cell phone keys or binoculars or anything, your rangefinder, small things that you want to put in there. It's a great compartment for it. Again, these are compression straps here and here, which help it snug it down. The front face of the pack is actually a clamshell style opening, so it only comes down about 2/3 of the way, which is nice because then your entire contents in your bag, if you pull it open, the entire contents of your bag aren't going to fall out and slip out. So it's a great design there. Inside here, I actually have a jacket in here right now, which is my extreme cold weather jacket, and this thing is absolutely huge. Just to give you a size perspective of how much this thing can actually hold. This is a huge jacket. So that can go inside there, and then on the inside you have several more pockets. You have a back pocket here which exposes the metal, I think it's aluminum, metal bar stock on each side. That is your internal frame support. I believe that can be removed as well. Some people call this a laptop pocket. It's just another elastine pocket with two more similar on the inside. So it's nice that you have a nice big compartment here for bigger items like clothing or whatever, and then small items for a little bit of organization. And then on the inside here, there's another mesh pocket so you can see what you're putting in there or see what's in there once you put it in there. Altogether, it's a really well designed pack. The materials are pretty good. I have absolutely zero complaints. It's nice and quiet. It's very, very lightweight, very modular, plenty of options. It's very versatile. The size I think is perfect. Any bigger and I'd want to carry too much stuff with me, but any smaller and I wouldn't be able to carry things like I need for late season with my cold weather gear. And the modularity of being able to attach additional MOLLE and make it MOLLE pouches and make it completely customizable is I think it's a 10 out of 10. The design, the quality of the stitching on it, I don't see any stitching anywhere that's concerning to me at all. Really appears to be really, really well made. There's also these compression straps on the bottom, so if you wanted to put a rain jacket or something underneath there, you certainly could. So absolutely tons of room, tons of customization, tons of options. It's a really great pack, really well made, really well designed. Highly recommended. So like I was saying, with the hip belt on the side, it has these 2 rows of MOLLE, which is great if you want to take this off and utilize it on a stand, or even if you want to attach additional MOLLE pouches on your sides for things like ropes and such, as I have on this one. The only reason I'm not using that one, which is it's comfortable and it's perfectly adequate for this, but I already have this one on here. So, and even the shoulder straps they're thicker than these high-end expensive shoulder straps. They have the same style buckles on top for the load lifters. Very, very versatile. Great pack. Very highly recommended.